Hello, everybody. This is Arnie Singleton, a.k.a. T-Dog from The Walking Dead, and you are listening to Dispatch Radio with my main man, Brandon.
Well, we have a great actress on with us now and talk about some of her projects and one that's coming up soon, a TV miniseries called Unconventionally L.A., but she also starred with Nick Cage and some other folks and some great projects. Ashley Arpel. Ashley, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thanks. How are you doing?
Oh, we're so blessed. Thanks for fitting us into your schedule. And, of course, I want to get right to this upcoming event, this Unconventionally L.A. It's like a mini-series. And I don't know too much about it other than what they've written for me. So catch everybody up on what's going on with that project.
Sure. Well, what it is, it's about this girl. She's brand new to Los Angeles, and it's basically filling it out. She doesn't know what she wants to do. She doesn't know whether she or behind the camera, and I play her ditzy classmate. I'm a love-struck model the entire first season. I can't, without giving too much away, just letting you know.
All right. Well, it sounds like a interesting concept. Is that something that you could relate to in your, young blossoming career here?
Well, sure, I guess. We've all been love-struck at one point or another. I happen to not have been love-struck all throughout school, but right when I got out of school, I swear, I just went boy crazy.
They got you. Okay. All right. Well, that has to be an interesting thing. It's a little bit different doing the TV miniseries project compared to like your film, like you were on The Runner with Nick Cage and some other stuff that you had already done.
Oh, yeah. It's completely different. For one thing, this is a comedy. Mm-hmm. And I love comedy. I've always wanted to do comedy, but The Runner with Nicolas Cage is a political drama. So completely different vibe. It was filmed in New Orleans. Mm-hmm. So you can imagine how amazing that was. I mean, the people, the food, the atmosphere, far different.
And where are they filming Unconventionally LA? Are they filming it on location out there in California?
Yeah, all over Los Angeles.
All over Los Angeles. Has that been a good experience for you so far? I know you kind of grew up in New York, and you're an East Coaster by birth.
Yeah, well, it's very different. I moved to LA when I was 18. I've grown up in Manhattan, so I'm a full-grown East Coaster. But filming here in Los Angeles is amazing. It's fantastic. Not just the weather, but I've had an amazing time here. I love LA. I think I was born to be in Los Angeles.
Born to be in Los Angeles. All right. Let's contrast. You already kind of previewed that a little bit. Political thriller, The Runner. I know it's on Netflix. I know it's available on DVD and Blu-ray and that kind of thing. What was it like when you kind of went into this? Obviously, you mentioned it was filmed mostly in New Orleans. Did you have much to go on as far as what your role would be, who you'd be with, and how did they kind of set that up for you and through the auditioning process?
You sort of broke up there, but are you asking about the audition process?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, that's a funny story. What happened was I couldn't audition in person because for the most part, they were auditioning in Louisiana, and I'm based in California. So I sent in a tape. I had a meeting with the director, Austin Stark. He also wrote the movie, and he's fantastic, incredibly talented. And then we were emailing a little bit, and I sent in my tape to casting. And then I heard back about a week later. But it took months of my emailing casting, my emailing the director to even be put in touch with casting to actually get the audition.
Perseverance pays off when you trying to get a gig, right? You got to pay the rent. Got to keep trying.
Gotta hustle. You gotta hustle.
All right, so when it comes to the shoot, obviously, with something like this, it is obviously a much more serious tone than what you're working with now on the Unconventionally LA thing. So tell us a little bit about the set. You mentioned the creators there, so just touch on how the set was and what the feel was like.
It was amazing. The scene, it was with Nicolas Cage and Wendell Pierce. It's a very serious moment. I can't give too much away if you haven't seen it, but it's a very quiet, very serious moment, and the set was treated with a lot of respect. It was so much fun. I've never met a crew. Everyone was really lovely to work with. It was absolutely fantastic. One of the best sets I've ever been on.
Is it still a little starstruck to be that close working with Nicolas Cage? I mean, I know you're not supposed to be, but is it still a little,
Oh gosh, yes. I was so petrified. When I was walking onto set, I thought you could notice how much I was shaking. But he is more than gracious. He's incredibly nice, incredibly professional, and it was lovely working with him.
Did you get that obligatory selfie to send home to the fam and the friends? Go look at what I get to do today.
I did not get a selfie on set, but when we were at the premiere, I got a picture with him, but not on set. I didn't want to be that girl,
Hey, you never know. We're talking with Ashley Arpel about her career and some of the roles that she's been able to get in her upcoming project. Is a miniseries called Unconventionally LA, which will be shooting in California on location. And she is a New York girl. Tell us a little bit about, at what point did you kind of draw towards not just performance and entertainment, more like actually acting?
Well, I actually started off as a dancer when I was a kid. And I had my first dancing performance. I was about 6. I loved being on stage. So that's when I sort of began to sing and act. I grew up in Manhattan, so singing was obviously very prevalent. And I started off with musical theater, and then I moved to Los Angeles when I was 18. And it just sort of happened for me. I started with theater in LA at the American Academy of Dramatic Art.
Mm-hmm.
And then you pound the pavement, you audition, and I happened to have booked a few TV spots and then The Runner and then a mini series. So it really came out of it's such a, not even an interesting story, but it really just came out of pure auditioning.
But you have a lot of the, a little bit in the family. I see in some of my notes here, you got some family that have really been influential, kind of working the business in different aspects and that kind of thing. And touch on that a little bit.
I do, yes. From my dancing background, Michael Kidd, my great uncle, he was just phenomenally talented dancer. So I think that's where I get a lot of at least that sort of stage presence from. My grandmother, Adrienne Arpel, she's called the Makeup Mogul. She's on Home Shopping Network, so I think that's where I get a lot of being on camera from. It's very exciting.
Well, I don't want to leave him off the list here, but obviously Scott Feldman as well is a relative. Yeah,
he is. He's great. He is a really, really great music producer, and if I ever decide to keep recording an album, I want to work with him and only him.
So now that you're out there and you're doing, a couple projects, you're kind of working in that way. What is some of the things that you got like a bucket list already started? You got some things in the hopper that you're, really anxious to kind of get working on?
I do. What I really want is to do a really great horror movie. I'm obsessed with old slasher films. It's not just Halloween for me. I mean, I love watching them throughout the year. I really want to do something like that. And hopefully that's in my future.
That's an interesting choice. I have to be perfectly honest.
I know it is, isn't it strange? Because it's that, and I also really want to do sitcom. So,
well, that's she wants to do the macabre, and then she wants to make you laugh. Maybe you could do both at the same time.
Maybe. They do have Ryan Murphy's new show, Scream Queens, and I feel like that's a lot of horror mixed with comedy.
Sure.
So
that's
we're
great.
Getting there.
That's great. Ashley Arpel talking about The Runner, Unconventionally LA. We'll link to some of that information, some of her social media stuff that we got here listed, and you can connect with her as well. Look for these great projects in the future. The Runner, I know, is on Netflix currently, but Blu-ray and DVD as well. So, Ashley, thank you again for fitting us into your schedule, and I get a chance to get to know you and talk to you a little bit.
So much. It was amazing speaking with you.